Another episode of Blunt Talk here on Respect My Region. It is episode 43 today, and I got Ralphy Davis in the fucking building.
Ado.
Ado, that's right though.
What's going on?
I'm so excited to have you in here. It's a pretty funny story because back in 2019, Ralphie was on the lineup for our Seattle World Tour. Played at the Columbia City Theater to a sold-out crowd. We raised $10,000 that week for charity and a shit ton of like clothing donations and shit through that too. And part of that was an auction that we did in collaboration with Jones Soda on custom-made bottles for all of the different artists and a few of the venues as well. And I have been holding on to this Jones Soda bottle for years.
She's a real one. I promise
years. And it can finally go home with Ralphie today. So I'm so fucking excited to bring it full circle. Because, yeah, for real, I've just been staring at this and been like, one day it'll go back to him. Yeah. So today's the day. And we get to double down and do an interview. So it's a great day today.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Most definitely.
And I know that you already sparked it up, but we got 2 blunts rolled up of this Tokyo Snow from Canna Organix. A few of my coworkers said that it was really good. It smelled really good, and it rolled up really nicely. So I'm excited to spark this up. You're already smoking on it. What are you thinking on it already?
Yeah, I like it, man. I like the way it's smoking so far. I ain't got no complaints.
Yeah. What do you usually smoke on?
Oh, man, I usually smoke on a little bit of Tranquil, a little bit of Runts. I'm real flavorful, so I don't really have just a certain strand, you know.
Okay, so what flavors do you like?
Man, you know what? What flavors? Ooh, I know I like the indica. But, I'm going to have to go with gelato right now. That's been doing what it's supposed to do. Besides the Runts, Mendo Breath.
I like good Mendo Breath.
Yeah. It's a few of them, man. It's hard to really narrow down nowadays because there's so much going around.
Totally, yeah. So, but I feel it.
That's the ones I've been off lately, though.
Yeah, I'd say that gelato is today's like classic strain that everybody is going to be happy with for the most part smoking, right? Vast majority of people like at work when I recommend gelato, they're more than likely going to be like, okay, yeah, I'll go with that. I feel it. It's a great strain though.
You can never go wrong.
No, you really can't. And it's like such a great high too, because it's like I feel like right smack dab in the middle of everything for me. I get a happy little head high, but I also get a chill little body to go with it. But not like stuck in the couch or like I can't feel my body.
Still moving around.
Yeah, exactly. Be active with it. So, I really like gelato, but I'm usually in like the piney, citrusy, those kind of strains, which not a lot of people I find like citrusy strains. I know, shout out Mitch. I know Mitch fucking hates it when it's like pine solly. I'm pretty sure that was Mitch, but yeah, I love the pine solly kind of weed. So yeah, I'm about it. So
got to.
Yeah. What's your smoking habits like when you're creating? Like, do you roll up before the studio? Do you smoke during your recording sessions? Like, do you have to smoke before you write? Like, how do you incorporate it into making your music? Yeah.
You know what? I really smoke during my sessions.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like unless like it depends on the flow of the song. Like if I'm trying to write like a super real record to where they're trying to feel me, then I'll roll up. But, if I'm just trying to keep it fun, and just do what I do, just have a little lyrical exercise or something, then I'll probably smoke after I'm done.
Okay. Is that almost like doing reps maybe?
Yeah. There you go.
The lyrical exercise? Yeah. I like the way that you put that. Yeah. That's dope though. I like that though when people can acknowledge that sometimes it's not always like the right path to go down, because I feel like stereotypically throughout the course of hip hop, people have always just talked about how people just be blowing and blowing and blowing all day long, all day, every day. But in reality, like there really is times and places where it fits in.
Exactly.
So it's nice to hear that you kind of have that.
It does help my creative side. It really does, because I've said stuff that I didn't really think you know, I could say, you know, just off, you know, smoking these flavors. So
yeah. I resonate with that a lot. Literally, we were just before we were getting started, and I was getting everything set up. You know, I was talking about how sometimes like things will come to me, especially when I'm high. They'll come to me in my head, and then before I have a chance to like write it down or really solidify it, sometimes it'll like flutter away, and it like takes a moment to come back to me. But really, when I'm high is when a lot of those just like fluid ideas come out of me. And then I look back on it when I'm sober. Like in the morning, one of my favorite times to reread things that I've written because my mind's a little bit clearer and I'm not high yet. So so I like to read the things that I wrote, and sometimes I'm like, damn, I wrote that.
Nah, I get you.
Yeah, I think it was there was a viral video of Lil Wayne being told his lyrics back again, and he like didn't even remember writing.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that on Instagram. I seen that. I came across that,
and it was like, I mean, that's real though.
That's really real because you got to understand, we write so many bars, so many words, so many phrases, so many just so much time that we put into it, you know, and it's like, I ain't gonna lie, like there's been times at shows where I probably have forgot a word or two, you know, just because it's just so much to just have to remember in so little time. Like it's like, okay, even let's say, okay, you got a 20-minute set, you know, depending on how your song is, you may do about 4 or 5 or maybe 6 songs at the most, you know. You're probably gonna forget a couple, you know, and most artists, they know how to like play it off like I do sometimes.
I was gonna ask, like, what is your like go-to? Do you have a go-to method when you forget lyrics or something, or do you have go-to phrases or go-to words that you throw in if you forget something?
Nah, I just dance through it. I just dance through it. And just like hope that you catch on.
That's honestly, how you know you're making fun music, though, is honestly, if you can laugh it off, dance it off, have a good time with it still. That's important. And
very few people notice that I like actually forgot a word or something because I'm doing something to kind of keep you engaged. So.
That makes me hella happy to hear because oftentimes when I'm in the crowd, I know all of their words, you know? So it's like, I notice when people mess it up. And it's like, if I don't notice that you fucked it up, I hear that you might have fucked it up. But if I don't notice in your performance, that's really key right there. So not everybody's like me and not everybody knows all the lyrics to literally everybody's song. So, you know, that's a very rare occasion, but that's hella funny and makes me hella happy to hear that that's how you recover off of it. So props to you on that. 'Cause not everybody has that kind of approach to it and that kind of like thought process to it. I've seen many people like get upset or like if it's in the beginning, run the song back to the beginning, you know, and I'd much rather not hear it and just have somebody have fun with it and move along than address that somebody fucked up. Exactly. So yeah, props to you on that one for sure.
Carrying right along.
Yes. But yeah, performing. Let's talk about performing a little bit because I've seen you perform and you have a great stage show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you been performing lately? Because I don't think I've seen you.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
On the bill as of late.
You know what? To be honest, like I've passed up a couple shows this year.
Okay.
Just mainly you know, trying to get the artwork right. You know, like just the art period right, you know, just getting the music
every
situated
of it,
and you know what, I actually been trying to get more shows out of town, you know, out of the region. You know, I felt like I've done a lot of shows up here, you know, and I will do more. I'm not saying I don't want to do more. I just been focusing on expanding my brand to other places, you know.
Totally, yeah. I know I've seen you pop up in the Bay a lot. Second home to you, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Now, have you been doing a lot of performing down there, or have you been like spreading yourself out, maybe like East Coast and trying to expand out there?
Yeah, you know what? I've been in the Bay. I've been in LA, Utah. I haven't really made it. I know, huh? Crazy.
Utah.
I know, huh? You'd be surprised.
Really?
But, and man, to be honest, I've been trying to get out more like to the East Coast. I plan on doing it top of next year, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been moving around just to answer your question.
Yeah, all over the place. I fuck with that.
It's staying busy.
Yeah, I feel like you have a West Coast vibe, but you have a East Coast energy about it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
you're not the only person to tell me that.
Yeah.
You know,
so I think you'll really do good things moving out there and getting your voice out there for sure. I'd love to go out towards New York as of lately with weed becoming legalized out there. I think it's going to be the events out there are about to be nuts.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, weed and music together and creating events like that in a place as big as New York, I think is going to be fucking next level. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out there. So I'd love to see you on a bill out there for some sort of like big music cannabis event in the future. I think it would be dope. I'd like to see a lot of motherfuckers out here. Over there, man,
moving around is man.
But yeah, I think out of a lot of people out here, you're one of the ones that I see moving around the most, you know, and being active with the communities out to where you're rocking too. Because a lot of people will go out there and they'll just post that they're out there. But I see you working with people out there and like really getting your footing down. So I fuck with it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
A lot. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Getting out of the city is important to do. You can always rep Seattle and always have love for Seattle, but you got to get out of here and you got to adventure and explore other things. Yeah, so that's my piece on that.
At the end of the day, I want to be a rapper from Seattle rather than a Seattle rapper. You get what I mean? So
there's a huge difference.
Yeah, so.
And there's nothing wrong with being just a Seattle rapper because
Nothing at all.
I absolutely rock with just being part of your local community and doing it because you're passionate about it and loving it. But then you can become a rapper from Seattle and then you can make it out there in the real world because sometimes Seattle doesn't feel like the real world.
Man, I'm telling you, you know it, man. You know, but hey, I'm just telling y'all my plan. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you know what? Everybody's plan is different. Exactly. So you just have to embrace that journey that you're on and rock with it.
Most definitely.
Yes. Rocking with your journey so far. Respect My Region has been rocking with your journey for years and years and years and years. If you go to RMR and you look up Ralphy Davis, you'll see.
On me, I promise you. I promise you. Nah, shout out RMR, man. All my Joey, Mitch, everybody, man. Like, you know, I really like, especially Mitch. Like, I really got relationships with these people, you know. So Respect My Region always did its part as far as like, you know, showing me that love. You know what I mean? So most definitely.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And that's how you
and Taylor for holding my my Jones soda for a minute.
Yeah,
you know, I ain't gonna lie. I thought by now it would have been gone, but I'm like, wow. You know?
Nah, you're talking to somebody who I collect memorabilia from music, from film, from a lot of different things, right? Yeah. I'm obsessed with it. And so I had that bottle right next to the RMR bottle and the Mr. DC, formerly known as Mr. DC, now Dave Chenet. I have both of those bottles still up on the shelf. They all sit together. And I've had them for years. Yeah. And because when I look back on it, I'm going to have so many things from these years and so many talented artists and stuff that I just know, you know, there's certain people that I know are going to get bigger than where they're at right now and where they're at when I'm hanging out with them and stuff. So I want to be able to look back on it and like going to the Mopop and seeing like the Pearl Jam exhibit and stuff and some of the old school stuff like that. And some of the stuff, my dad's been a musician in the scene since 1989. And so some of the stuff that he has from back then and stuff, it's like looking back on it, it just has so much emotional, like nostalgic kind of feeling for me that when I look at it, I can remember like looking at that, like I can hear your music in my head playing. I can see you on stage at the Columbia City that night that you were performing, you know, like it takes me back to that time. So I like to hold on to things like that to help me like remember those things.
Yeah, I got you.
You do so many things that, you know, it's hard to keep track of it all. Especially when, like, I feel like even, like, yourself as a rapper, too, I feel like sometimes, you know, you get into the run of things. Like if you're doing a show run, or if you're like working on an album, or like you're doing all these things and it's just like a constant motion, and sometimes you don't appreciate it all in that moment. And so having little things like that are like super important to me, so that when I look back on it, I can stop and actually like reflect on it and think about it. Whereas I just feel like I'm always living in the moment. So that's why it's been in that condition and here and not broken, busted, gone, lost, or anything. So yes, long story long, that is how I still have that. So but you a real one, so I'm always gonna hold it down and hold on to it until you can get it. So today's the day. So definitely. Speaking of making music and all of that, I know this year you've released quite a few different things. You released that EP earlier that I'm forgetting the name of it right now.
Me Not On Me.
Thank you. And then you released a song recently too with somebody, and so you've just been working a whole bunch on things. Let's talk about working on those things and coming out of the pandemic and moving back into like real life back into things. The new normal, huh? Traffic was fucking ridiculous last night. I was like, this is real life again. Like this is what it felt like back in 2018, 2019 and everything. So what has it been like coming out of everything and getting back into real life, essentially?
You know, it's crazy. I recorded that EP during the pandemic. I flew down to LA. I recorded it, in LA, a little spot that me and this producer named Factor Beats have found.
Okay.
He's the one who produced the whole tape for me. And I recorded it down there. We did our thing. We knocked it out in one night.
Shit.
And,
wow.
We knocked it out in one night for sure.
That's that organic process.
Yeah. We was in there for about 8-9 hours anyway. So,
yeah. I mean, that's a solid day's work right there,
though. For surely. And it was crazy, though, because we weren't even able to get in at first. I don't know what was going on. We're calling the person we booked it with. He's not answering. We're damn near ready to leave. He finally opens the door. Long story.
Was he asleep or what?
Nah, I think, it's just studio, loud noises. I think he was, I don't think you could really, you're not really hearing your phone like that.
At least you know it's soundproof.
Too.
You can't hear somebody beating on the door.
Exactly. But that was a cool experience. I just wanted to just put something out so people know that I'm still active and got something going. So.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely let people know for sure. I was rocking with that. And then you told me that you were just kind of like working on some songs and just keeping a fluid motion with it.
Yeah.
What's like, do you plan things out, and do you have like blocked off time where you're like, I'm gonna be, obviously if you book recording sessions, you have that on the schedule and everything, but like when you wake up in the morning, is it like, do you dedicate an hour to your craft? Like, do you dedicate certain days to it? Like, do you fit it in where you can fit it in?
You know what? To be honest, man, I feel like I do all three, you know, to be honest with you. I just love creating music. So it's just like, every day I'm listening to beats, every day I'm trying to create something new, even if it's like a hook, to a couple songs or just a verse to this song, I'm not trying to just outdo it I just kind of go with the flow, and by the time I do hit the studio, I kind of already have a direction on what I want to do with the beats that I do have. Now, there's other instances where, I'll meet a producer like I did with my boy Factor down there, and then, we're just cooking from scratch and just feeling each other out, feeling the vibes, and we just go from there. But it really just, everything's a mood. I say it's, just a mood.
Yeah. So how did you meet Factor?
Instagram.
Solid. Do you meet Instagram, a lot of people that way?
Yeah. Instagram is powerful.
Yeah.
He had a DM me, And he was just, I think he had listened to one of my tapes, one of my songs off my tapes.
Yeah.
And he was just telling me, you know, how he wanted to work with me. And I was just like, man, let's do it. I heard him do a beats for a few other like popular artists that were doing their thing. So it was nothing for us to lock in. You know? So we just did that. You know?
Damn.
Rest is history.
That's crazy. You just gave me an idea for a book, and I don't want to tell the world, but I'm going to keep that in my back pocket. So thank you for that story. Because that message, that Instagram is powerful. It's real. It is. I know so many partnerships, so many connections, so many rapper producer connects too that have happened all through somebody just slinging a DM to somebody one day and just being like, yo, what's up?
Listen,
it's like direct content
without Instagram, man, we wouldn't be able to keep up with a lot of each other's grinds or whatever that's going on with us. We wouldn't be able to keep up with each other because man, you know, we wouldn't be able to show what we're doing, whether it's, you know, behind the scenes or you know, in the lab, things like that, or, you know, even our day to day, you know, just things that help people that are fans of us get to know us outside of music, you know. So you get what I mean? Like
it would be hard, like
resume. Yeah, like
as an artist, you can treat it as your resume. If you can curate your profile to have certain posts, whether it be like a clip of your music or a clip of a music video or, you know, a flyer of a show or like whatever, you know, it may be, it showcases all of your skill sets, it showcases all your talents, what you're about, like your music and everything. Like it is literally a way that somebody can get to know who you are and make an assumption whether they're going to like you or not in like a minute. And it's all right there at a click of a button. It's like the easiest thing. And that's unfortunately, you know, there's good and bad sides to social media. The good side being you can connect with people, but the downside is also not being able to get the algorithm to work in your favor or whatever it may be that day, you know. It's complex. But I think it's just being aware of those things and harnessing that power and doing those things like connecting with people and then following up and tapping with them in real life. Because I think that's super important too, is connecting outside of the app.
No, you're right. You gotta definitely touch the people eventually.
In the real universe. Because I think also a problem with it too is that so many people just get stuck in that internet world. And that's where all their influences come from. That's where all of their like content is centered around just trying to get engagement in that way. And I think we lose a lot of like that authentic kind of feeling to the music or to the art or whatever it may be. So, I think that's super important.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I
to
would agree.
Those. For sure.
I would agree. For real. I would agree.
So where has been some of your favorite places that you have been in that like surged your creativity? Like what places have you gone to and it was like when you went down to that studio in LA and you guys made that project in like 8-9 hours or whatever, was that like the peak feeling for you of being somewhere and getting that spark of creativity? Or has there been a certain place or a certain community that you've been involved in that was like things just kind of came to you super well?
You know what? I think it's everywhere. It's not even a certain place, you know. You know, me going to San Diego and, you know, seeing the city for what it is out there. I just get inspired by just doing fly shit, you know. So I say, you know, just to answer your question, you know, just traveling, period, you know, just doing things different.
Just that act of the difference of it.
There you go. Just
for sure.
You know what I mean? Just
not necessarily that place, but the feeling of being outside of your hometown, the feeling of being in a new environment, that kind of energy.
Like sometimes I just ride and just really I let the views kind of you know take me in a certain direction on how to feel. And
your music is very late night. Riding, cruising.
There you go. You can tell. See what I mean? Music. Like, there you go. You can just be by yourself, like just thinking, like, you know, like on some sunset shit. Like, I don't know, like
you have a wide range, but that's definitely like one of
that's
those.
one. No, you're right.
One of those
you're right.
feelings
You're
for
right.
sure. So. I've definitely recognized that in a few. And it's funny how different projects of yours, I feel like, have too taken that kind of the different lanes that you've gone in, which is really nice too. When you're going through a few of your different projects, you can bounce around and get a different vibe for them and stuff. But then you also include it all in even just one project. So it's dope though. I like it.
It is. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
I just try to, I don't know, just give you different feelings and moods, you know. I don't try to just have you on just the same vibe every time you hear me, you know. So,
so do you get inspired seasonally at all, or do you get inspired by certain, like, I don't know, certain random things that you see in the day to day, or like where does it usually?
My inspiration, man.
Even just from nowhere, just from
to be honest, like
just from the flow.
You could say my day to day just to sum it up, you know. I just get inspired just by, you know, waking up.
Shit.
You know, just waking up. You know, just waking up. You know, I don't know, like.
No, but that says something, though, for sure.
You know what I mean?
It's really ingrained in you.
So I don't know. You know, as far as this music go, you know, I might eat something different, you know, and then name a song after something that I just made for breakfast or something. I don't know, like I don't know. It's just so many directions. You never can just narrow it down.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Eggs Benedict coming to his next album for
sure.
Man,
come on.
Have the Eggs Benny in the morning. No. I'm playing, but no, it really does say something, because I know there are certain people and certain artists that really have to like put themselves into that mentality to create something, and then there's other people that just kind of, like you said, that you just kind of wake up and it's just naturally part of your life, and like part of, I'm sure some of the sentences that you speak in your day-to-day life often will sound like a rhyme or a bar, you know, like,
man, you know,
I find that happening to myself all the time, and I'm not even a rapper. I'm just a writer, but oftentimes I, like, in my sentences in my day-to-day, I'll speak eloquently and say certain things a certain way. So I'm sure that pops up in your day-to-day too. Right. You're just kind of.
But mainly smoking, you know, while I'm smoking, you know, I definitely get inspired off that, you know. Sure. So
I'd say this Tokyo Snow is a great one for it.
Surely.
I'm feeling great right now. Honestly. My coworkers were not wrong.
No, I don't think so either.
A good blunt to me is one of the best ways to kick off a writing. And a strain like this is perfect for that, because like I'm feeling like a little peppy, but not like zooted energy or anything like that, but definitely feel like a little.
Feel like you can carry on.
You know? Right, yeah, exactly.
I got you.
Yes, this is the lean on me strain.
There you go. There you go.
It'll help you carry on. Yeah. Oh, I love that. You know, you're just constantly coming up with ideas.
Man, see, that's what I'm saying right now. You see how you just boom. That's how shit just happens.
Yeah, I feel that.
Especially with this music, man.
Yeah.
I just try to, you know, at the end of the day, just put my best foot forward, you know, creativity wise. So that's why I just try to keep myself open minded, you know, because that's one of the ways that's helped me remain creative throughout this whole time. So
I mean, that's super important. Sounds like you reflect on things a lot, and you're a very reflective person, it sounds like.
Gotta be.
You gotta be.
You know, you gotta be, man, because, you know, it just helps me remain blessed for where I'm at now, you know, and where I am going, you know.
For sure.
Gotta reflect sometimes.
Yeah. I've been microdosing for the past, 2 years on mushrooms and reflecting on the things that I've done, and where I want to be, and life decisions, and what paths I can take and whatnot, and it's really like helped have a clearer head on like what I need to be doing, what's important as well, and not just like what's important in life, like, you know, existentially or whatever, but what's important in like productivity's sake, or like what's important, like what things you need to accomplish to get something done, kind of a thing. And it's really, I think that's really important. And I think that's how people can be more successful and not get overwhelmed by it all. Because I mean, being in a creative endeavor in any sense, whether you're a musician or an artist or anything like that, like it can be overwhelming and uncertain because you have like, and like the pandemic showed it, you know, like shut all down performing, and you nobody can make any money, and nobody can survive, right? So it's like there's a certain uncertainty to it. And I just lost my train of thought after that.
Oh man,
it's a really good point, but I think I made it. But
you did.
But yeah, wow. And that's how a good writing session usually goes for me. I ramble on like that, and then I read it back in the morning when I'm sober. Like, and I'm like, damn, did I really write that?
Yeah, man.
But then you get something good out of it. So I'm sure I was saying something great. And when I rewatch the clip afterwards, it'll be great.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure.
have no fucking idea where I was going. So there's that. What is next year looking like for you?
Next year looking like for me, just a whole bunch of traveling.
Fun stuff.
A lot of music. I plan on dropping at least 3 projects next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I say that.
Okay.
You know,
I'm gonna run this back at year end next year.
Got to.
And I'm gonna
hold me to that. Hold me to it. But yeah, I plan on putting out a few projects. Just traveling places, making more connections, meeting new people.
Yep.
Things like that.
I feel it. If people want to connect with you, where can they connect with you?
Man, Instagram.
The Twitter. Power of Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. On Twitter. I'm Ralphy Davis. I am RALPHY Davis.
Down here.
Same for Instagram. Yeah, man. YouTube. Type in Ralphy Davis. RALPHY space Davis. I mean, everywhere. Ralphie that Google. I mean,
yeah. They can find you pretty easily through Google.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not that hard to find.
Yeah. But you're pretty open. All those platforms connect with you.
Everywhere.
And all that jazz. Yeah, for sure. Super easy. That's how we linked up for this podcast, was through IG. So man, literally.
Come on.
So it really truly works out. So tap in with him for sure. And follow him. And do you have your stuff on Bandcamp?
You know what? I don't.
You should. I feel like you should throw your stuff up on Bandcamp and start slanging that. Yeah. Bandcamp Fridays. They're the way. They are the way for sure. If not, go stream on Tidal. If your shit's on Tidal.
Yeah, no, definitely on Tidal. I was
like, I'm pretty sure I've listened on Tidal.
Definitely on Tidal.
Because you've been on my Money Mix too. So, stream on Tidal over Spotify any day of the week. But yeah, you should be slanging that on Bandcamp because I always support artists on Bandcamp Friday.
Okay.
And buy the music and be able to download it from there. So
now I'm gonna look into it.
You should, because Bandcamp's really holding it down for people in that way, and that you can make much more money off of your art through there. So if you're an artist out there and you aren't on Bandcamp, go to Bandcamp and start selling your music on Bandcamp, because it's a way for consumers to actually go out there and buy your music, be able to download it, whether you just sell an MP3 or a physical. I'd be buying records like nobody's fucking business. I can't even tell you how much money I've dropped in the past couple of years on records. So I'd be supporting out there, and Bandcamp Fridays are a fucking thing that they started during the pandemic, and it's just like a thing, and it's beautiful. Every once in a while Bandcamp does Bandcamp Friday, where 100% of the proceeds go directly to the artist instead of Bandcamp taking whatever their fee is. I don't know because I don't be selling my music on there.
Yeah,
But they take a little bit of a fee when you sell it through them normally. But then, yeah, Bandcamp Fridays, 100% of the proceeds go back to the artist. So it's a great way to get your music out there and get people actual. Like, I still download MP3s of all music, and I have like a little hard drive full of music.
Yeah.
Decades of collecting music. Like, I have thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of songs. I think the last time I checked, I had like 30,000 different songs. Because I just collect them all. Yeah. So it's like fucking Pokemon, man. I collect them all. So a little bit of game for y'all out there. If you're not on Bandcamp, get on fucking Bandcamp. It is a game changer for real. I know plenty of people that have been able to sell out of different things. I've even supported artists in Manchester, over in the UK who he put out a small collection. I think he put out like maybe 25, 30 records, and I copped one of them, and they sold out the day of. And, you know, I'm like, that's what's up. I got to support a local artist over in Manchester, you know, because of Bandcamp. Shout out Bandcamp.
Shout out to Bandcamp.
So I'm about it. And I think all artists should get behind it, because I'm sick and tired of people like Spotify taking all the money and not giving artists any money for people streaming their music. So yeah, get on some of these other platforms, and let's let Spotify start to fizzle. Take the algorithm from Spotify and put it into something that's going to make the artist more profitable, because unfortunately I really fucking like the algorithm that Spotify uses. And they literally show me so many, like, I discovered so many good artists because of their algorithms. Yeah. And so, like, I can't fucking knock it, but they don't pay anybody anything. So I have to knock them, you know? So it's dangerous. And I try and get it on Tidal, but it's just not as good. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of great suggestions, but it's nowhere near at the level that Spotify's been able to harness. So, but that's because they're making, you know, millions of dollars off of people. And they're able to put that back into, you know, things to develop this. So, there's that. Ramble on it. I could talk about that all day long, and how they need to restructure things in the music industry to accommodate for it. They already started to do that with Billboard and shit, where streams are starting to affect like your ranking on the Billboard charts and shit. So, you know, it's interesting. It's interesting to me. It is interesting. How do you feel about the politics and all of that shit in music? I mean, obviously it's rough, but like do you let it affect you? Like, does it? I didn't think so, but I figured I'd ask how you navigate those kind of things, and because, like I said earlier, I mean, it can be overwhelming, and people can get, you know, kind of down about it sometimes, and so, you know, I think it's an important part for people to talk about, and how they handle that kind of stuff. But I mean, like, if you just keep it pushing and keep making music and just doing what you do, I mean, that's a great way to handle it.
To answer your question, what I do is I just do me. You know, I just continue to just keep it moving. I don't know. Like, I rock with everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't really.
I was gonna say, have you even had to deal with anything?
Yeah, no, I haven't. Not really. You know, I rock with everybody, man. I rock with who rock with me most definitely, but I look to rock with everybody. So, you know, I feel like I don't really have too much of those issues.
Yeah. I feel like you're just a nice guy, so it's hard.
I mean, I don't know, like, but then again, it's like I don't really see myself doing a song with everybody. To be honest, I really I don't know. I just want to just spread, you know, as much as I can. You know, like I said, like, I'm a rapper from Seattle. You know, I don't want to just be a Seattle rapper. So I try to look to, you know, do things with my people here, grow with, you know, the people that's doing the thing here, you know, because I like what the scene is doing, you know, so I look forward to growing with the artists, you know, and really creating, you know, some dope here, something that they can pay attention to here, you know. But I feel like it's just one of those occasions to where you just gotta just always want more. And part of that is by going to other places and meeting new people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I mean when I say that,
I feel it. You make calculated decisions.
Got to
work with people that you want to work with, and that makes sense. And I feel it.
Gotta make it make sense.
You gotta make it make sense. That's right. Hey, no. All right. Well, shit. You got anything else that you want to throw in the mix here?
Man, shit. Go stream my music. I'm pretty sure my shit will be on Bandcamp soon.
Yeah. So. After this conversation, I'm pretty sure it will be.
Man, just keep supporting, man. Shout out, respect my region. Shout out Taylor.
Hey, shout out you, man.
Man, come on.
Yeah. When the next 8-0 merch drop happening?
You know what? Aiming for February.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Rad.
Yeah. I'm aiming for February.
Hell yeah.
Come with some t-shirts. Come with some crew necks.
Hell yeah.
Things of that nature. Just be on the lookout.
For sure. Follow him. Go check out his music.
Stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
That's right. I be saying that all the time. Literally said that like last weekend at a fucking event. Anyways, shit. Great talking to you. These blunts were fantastic and got me rambling like a lot. But it's all good. It's been how many months? It's been since July we started the North American Weed Tour, and I've smoked a hell of a lot of blunts since then, trying to smoke through a bunch of different strains while we navigate all the different states and sometimes internationally, talking to people about the weed game and shit. So, it's been great. There's still a few more blunts of the week to go through till the end of the year. I got a few more episodes that I'm going to be doing. I'll be taking off some weeks for the holidays. But subscribe to Respect My Region's YouTube. But if you're on Facebook, make sure you like RMR and on all the other platforms too. Go to Instagram. I need to start live streaming on Instagram, but it's hard when you self-produce the shit here. So that'll happen eventually, probably next year. But yeah, go follow RMR, go follow me on my socials and shit. It's down at the bottom of the screen or in the description. If you are listening to this in the future when it's uploaded as the audio version. And other than that, go smoke yourself some weed and have a great old night, as that's what we're about to go do. So I appreciate you again for coming out.
I appreciate you.
And cannot wait to see what else you put out here soon. I'm sure it'll be on RMR as soon as you drop anything. So man, literally to the minute.
That's the plan.
So anyways, thanks y'all for tuning in and watching. It's been episode 43 of Blunt Talk. I will be back next week for episode 44, and you know what that means. 4 means that OG Mambo's coming back for another episode, because I'm going to keep that running until it gets super old. So, because he did episode 11, he did 22. I fucked up and didn't book him for 33, so I got to redeem it with 44. So that'll be next week. I think I'm doing it a little earlier in the day next week, probably around 3 o'clock. So tune in, y'all. But for now, this has been Blunt Talk episode 43. So